Hey foodies, I don't know if you knew this, but one of the most popular films on Netflix right now is one set in Cyprus. And I know I'm late to the game, but I watched it last night and I have some comments on the various food scenes in Find Me Falling. It comes without saying that there are gonna be spoilers ahead, so watch at your own risk. The first scene I'm going to unpack is the one where our protagonist, John, goes to the local supermarket. The small neighborhood supermarket is becoming more and more a rarity in Cyprus, especially in Nicosia and in Limassol. But you could have found an actual one instead of using a closed set. I understand the decision because this way you can keep in check the various products in the background and stuff like that. But a little bit of chaos would have given you the exact authentic thing. But I won't be mad about it because you do give the vibe of the neighborhood supermarket. So I will give you 1 point for authenticity. What really grinds my gears is what happens next. She places the groceries in a paper bag as if this is the United States. Come on. This is such a small thing that contributes to the overall feeling and authenticity of a scene, and you botched it. This is amateur hour. Come on, you can do better. When the shopkeeper gives John a bag of oregano, that is 100% authentic because we put oregano in almost everything because it's so aromatic and appetizing. You know, why not put a bit of oregano on your meats? It's delightful. Try it. What really baffles me is why does the shopkeeper give John a bag of paprika? It just doesn't make sense because, at least to my knowledge, here in Cyprus we don't use that much paprika in our cooking. A lot of olive oil? Check. A lot of oregano? Sure. Lemon? Don't worry about it. But paprika? I'm not sure. Let's move on to the taverna scene. I have a lot of thoughts about this. First is that who ever dines on a bar in a taverna? I think that never happens. It makes for good TV that, oh, look at these two buddies, they're sharing a meal on the bar, drinking zivania, but I don't know how realistic that is. The second point about this scene is that the food portrayed here, it's actually authentic and it comes in waves, so that part is correct. Watching this scene makes me want to talk about one of my greatest pet peeves when dining in a taverna. When they bring you the little plates, either use a communal spoon or fork to serve yourself in your own plate, or if you're gonna use your fork, just touch and grab the piece of food that you are gonna eat. I don't want your saliva touching all of the food. You're making me go yuck. So please have some taverna etiquette. My third point about this scene that also is visible throughout the movie is this attempt to convert the Cypriot Greek dialect into the standard modern Greek.
And what is this?
This is the Cyprus ravioli.
Okay, what do you call it?
Ravioli.
We actually call them ravkioles. It becomes a female ravkiola, ravkioles, and it gets the bit of the Cypriot accent in it, the FK sound, which I think is more charming than just calling them ravioli. I am biased, I know. My fourth point has to do with this quote.
Are they gonna stop bringing us food?
No.
If you go to a taverna worth its salt, the taverna owner will continue bringing you food until you are full. This practice is disappearing because of the high costs of living and ingredients and wages and so on, but it's a breath of fresh air to go to a taverna where they are not skimping out and where they give you quality things, where they give you meat instead of the various magirefta. If you want to find out what magirefta are, check out my video on me eating at Cyprus's oldest taverna. The dish featured on this scene that I definitely have to talk about are
snails.
And indeed, most people slurp their karaolus exactly like that. I remember my late grandfather. Woo! He would consume so many like so, and that sound would just penetrate my ears. But Back then, I thought that that was a bit villagey, let's say. But now I just get it. It's a foodie thing. It's the same way why you slurp your soup and your coffee to air it and get all the flavor molecules to get all the food molecules circulating in your mouth, making food more tasty. I try them every time someone visits Cyprus and I show them the local cuisine. So I know, you have to try them. It's a must. We are en route to monetization. 708 subscribers, baby. So if you are new to the channel, or you watched a few of my videos and you find them enjoyable, please consider subscribing. Help us grow to 1000 subscribers before 2025. Thank you. The third food scene that I would like to break down is the one where John is preparing dinner for Sia, where we see a shot of these peppers being stuffed with mincemeat and rice. These, of course, are gemista, one of the quintessential Cypriot dishes. And this brings me so many memories. This table looks exactly like my yaya's table when she used to make them. And, you know, I have this association of all the smells and sounds of making gemista, especially the little pinch of cinnamon that my grandma used to put in her gemista. I just miss those gemista and I miss my grandma even more. Thank you for doing this scene because it definitely had an emotional response from me. The fourth scene revolving around food that I would like to point out is the one where the police officer's sister comes for her date bringing a pasticcio. I don't know if that's the dish someone would bring for a date. And I don't think even if you get invited to someone's house that you would bring the pasticcio. It's very labor intensive. But at least it looks authentic. It looks like the pasticcio that I grew up eating. When the cop's sister leaves the pasticcio on the table and tells John that he should enjoy it while it's still warm, that is a point of contention between Cypriots. I know some people who enjoy refrigerating their pasticcio and then eating it cold with a long squeeze of lemon, which I think is absolutely ew. But what do you guys think? Do you enjoy your pasticcio hot, straight out of the oven? At lukewarm temperature? Cold? Do you put it in the freezer? Let me know down in the comments. The final food scene, or rather beverage-related scene, is the one where the three ladies sit down to have a coffee. These are the vibes that you would get if you visit a yaya's house. You sit down, you have coffee, you argue loudly so that the whole neighborhood will hear your various conversations. This is a perfect encapsulation of the Cypriot psyche, and I just love that. So as far as food scenes go, I think Find Me Falling actually is quite accurate. I would give it a B+ or even an A, because it definitely shows a lot of the dishes that we eat, whether at home or in a taverna. It gives you the vibe of where at least our grandmas went to do their grocery shopping, and one of our national drinks, Zivania, and the coffee culture, especially that special aspect of it where you have a Cypriot coffee with your yaya and you yell at each other. It's a perfect snapshot of the Cypriot lifestyle. So all in all, I think, yeah, they did a good job. As far as the film as a whole is concerned, you know what? I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. I have some other little gripes, especially the choice to use regular modern Greek instead of the Cypriot dialect, or the frequent change between Greek and English, where you could have only used Greek with some English subtitles, but I know that some populations really dislike reading subtitles, which I really don't get because I am team subs and not dubs. My final little gripe, I think, can only be felt by us Cypriots because of the various changes in filming locations. So on the one hand, you have a scene being filmed maybe in Peja or Akamas, I'm not entirely sure, and then the next one somewhere in Nicosia, which can be a bit disorienting, jarring for us, But I understand. You want to show the prettiest, the most iconic places. So, I mean, it didn't take away from the overall experience, just it was a bit confusing for us Cypriots. Would I recommend watching this movie on its own merits? Probably not. But if you ask me, should I watch this movie to learn a bit more about the Cypriot culture and maybe the food culture around Cyprus? Then I would tell you, definitely, watch it. And if you enjoyed watching this video, try watching any of these videos on Greek and Cypriot food. Until the next time, bye!